Good morning, and thank you for making ekaboom TV part of your morning routine.
I'm Ruben, and this is Joan Romero, and today we're going to talk about the Kolbe test.
The Kolbe test is something that we like to use when hiring people and getting to know the people who we work with.
So Kolbe, a lot of maybe someone may not know how to spell that.
So Kolbe.
That's correct. Kolbe. Kolbe, and what does the Kolbe test do?
Well, first of all, you can find it at kolbe.com. We're not affiliated. I wish they had an affiliation because I praise them and talk about them, but not affiliated with Kolbe. The Kolbe test will measure your mode of operation,
Which means
how you do things,
I like to say
the energy.
I like to say
you
it's
have.
your action tendency.
Oh, that's good.
Your action tendency. Kolbe, unlike a lot of other tests that are out there, which test your aptitude, which means how well you can do something,
Okay.
it tests how
How you actually do
yeah
things.
how you actually do and where you shine in your action tendencies. So
Okay.
like because you can perhaps do a task or do something, but that doesn't mean you will.
Or that you want to.
Or that you want
Like
to.
you can do it once for a class or something, say, see, I can do it. Now I got my grade. Now I never want to do it again. Or you can be like, oh, I can't wait to do more of that.
Right, exactly. So often when you're going to be like hiring someone or bringing someone on, you want to know where do they shine in their action tendencies. Where do they feel like, man, I could just do this all day, and
Instead of something that would drain them.
Right,
And then they're
right,
like,
right. And so,
"Get me out of here."
when you have to like call on them and say, "Hey, it's after business hours, but I need this and this done real quick because
They're like,
of an
"Oh, okay."
emergency," then yeah, they're not like, "Oh, like I hate
They're
doing
like, oh,
this."
I'm just not answering the phone.
Right. Right. Yeah,
That's them.
we try to avoid those kinds of things, but
It comes up.
it does come up. And so you want to be able to, I want people to be happy that work with us, that are
To love
our
what they
staff
do.
love what they do.
Yeah.
And so, the Colby, basically finds out where they're where there are. It also helps not just in an understanding like what kind of things they like to do, but how to help people be able to accomplish a job. Because sometimes it's just in the framing. With the Colby, there are four basically action categories. One is quick start, another one is fact finder, another one is implementer, and the last one is follow through. So for me, now we all have some of those energies. So I have follow through energy, but my largest energies are quick start and fact finder. I'm a quick start fact finder, and
And I'm a quick start follow through.
right. So when you're discussing things with people and you understand their action tendencies, you don't. It helps you to avoid like thinking, "Hey, why are you doing that?" Or you're just like, "Hey, you're crazy. Like you're. Why have you done research all day? Oh, it's because you're a fact finder. Oh, why are you like saying, hey, we were doing this, but let's change everything and go a different direction? That's because you're a quick start." Or you're like, I need to finish this project and I'm going to go crazy if I don't finish this project. Well, that's because you're a follow through. You have to have that closure.
Ooh.
Or like
Or let me get in there and play with that.
yeah, I need to get out there and I need to be doing stuff. I'm gonna go play golf and meet people and make some sales. Probably because you're an implementer, you want to be doing stuff as opposed to researching things. So it helps you to be able to relate to people, not just yourself, not just your staff, but potential clients or other people when you understand what their action tendencies are. And where they really shine. So it helps in that communication process. I think it also originally though, and most importantly, it helps just help to establish where people are going to shine, what kind of projects you should give them, and how you should pair them. Because sometimes a project requires a couple of people, and you need to put those people together. Because if you give a fact finder a research project and they'll just keep researching
you can
forever.
Research forever.
Right?
If you put two fact finders together, you may never see them again.
Yeah, they'll disappear and like show up in 2 years and say, I found, you know, the answer to life,
multiple solutions to your problem,
and, you know, and everything. You're like, great. So you have
we're running a business here.
You have to pair them with a follow through, so the follow through keeps them on track and says, no, we have to finish this. We have to get this.
We have a deadline.
Yeah, we have a deadline and we've got to meet it.
Or also, if you just have one person and they are a fact finder and you need them to go figure something out, give them a deadline. Say, you have 2 hours and I need an answer to this question. And they'll have one. You know, but if you say, just go until you find the answer, there's always
you
answers.
Can't do that with a fact finder.
You know, that wouldn't work.
Right.
So,
right. So, yeah, the Kolbe test now is a paid test that you have to go and take. It's about $50. There's also Kolbe for business.
And I think that's the personal.
That's the personal.
Because you can take it personally. I think maybe there's like one for youth, there's one for adults, and then there's also the business or corporate.
Right. Now, I think another thing you have to when you understand someone's mode of operation or their action tendencies.
We're not Kolbe certified.
We are not Kolbe certified.
We just like it.
We like
and
it.
We use it.
So we're
just sharing.
We're sharing it with you. Yeah.
Apologies if we're misrepresenting
or saying something wrong. You know,
because we don't.
Just so you know, all of what we say is for entertainment value only. So
use at your own risk.
Yeah. But yeah. We have a friend and he uses the Kolbe, and he was telling us how he had 2 applicants. Both of them took the Kolbe for the job, and one of the things that he found out is that he was trying to find someone who like made up for his shortcoming. So he started looking at hiring the one person who made up for those shortcomings, but then he soon found out that they were just too different. Like he was driving her crazy.
Yeah.
Because his mode of operation was so far removed from hers that she was like, I can't function in this environment. And so that's another thing to keep in mind is you do want to find someone, you know, if you're hiring, you're using the Kolbe to hire someone, you do want to find someone that can, you know, have strengths where you have weaknesses, but at the same time, you don't want to find someone so different from you that they're going to quit or they're going to go crazy or you're going to go crazy because they're pestering you about the things that you hate.
Yeah. Well, and that was Daryl Eves, and he was saying that he had 2 applicants. One scored a B+, and the other one was a C-. But he really felt like the C- person was a good fit, so he hired her anyway, despite what the Kolbe was recommending. And she was the one who, after 2 days maybe, said, I can't do this.
I may be misrepresenting what happened then, but
anyway, I have to leave.
That's still good advice, though. I mean,
I should have gone with the B+, not the C-.
Right, hiring someone that's too different from you and your mode of operation is still good advice, whether that's what happened with him or not.
All right, so the story I like to tell when we're talking about the Kolbe test is, let's say, early in our marriage, we would go shopping for a chair. Go into the store, we find one we like. I'm like, great, we buy it, we take it to the car. You know, on the way home, I filed away the receipt, I've ripped the tags off the chair. You know, it's mine. We're going to keep it. We bought it. It's a done deal in my mind. But say there's a furniture store on the way home, and Ruben would stop the car and say, hey, let's just run in here and look at the chairs. I'm like, why would we look at chairs? We already have the chair. We don't need
Fact finder. I gotta know. I want to know how much this other chair costs. I want to know if there's the same chair, similar price. You know, I don't even care really if it costs more or costs less. You know, we may figure. Yeah, but I do want to know. So yeah, so it used to drive her crazy.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh, this is so annoying. Like, is he just doing this to bug me? And they're like, no, okay, he's just fact finding. I'm follow throughing. Okay. And so, you know, we learned to kind of give each other some slack there. But then it occurred to me one day, hey, like, let's say we need to go buy a chair. Then we would talk about it first and say, instead of us both being quick starts and jumping in the car and go look for a chair, say, why don't you get online, see what you can find out, price out some chairs, see what's out there in the market. And that way he can get a lot of his fact-finding energy out before we even go out to the store. And the really nice thing is sometimes you'll even find what you want online, and we can just order it, and it'll just come to our house.
Yeah, and I
love that.
I think generally also you don't have that amount of fact finding energy where you're just like, show me what the options are. You want the, as a quick start follow through, you want the Reader's Digest version of decision making. You don't want me to say, here are 15 different options that we can go with.
And a 10-minute discourse on each option.
Right. No. Now I go through that. I'll go through and I'll find all 15 options, and then I'll narrow it down to the last 2 or 3, and then I'll come to her and say, here's what we have, here's our options, here's why this one's good, here's why this one's good, here's why this one's good, here's why these are bad, or this one's bad, or whatever. And then, she loves that.
Yeah, and I like to look at the big picture, how is this going to affect this and this and this, holistic approach and specific answer. Boom.
Boom. Love it, hate it.
Love it, hate it.
Love it, hate it. That's what she wants. This one, this one, I want that one, I don't want that one.
Moving on.
Done. Next. Now, because I have fact-finding energy, though, I can spend hours and hours and hours researching something and then come and bring it to her, where she would poop out after the first hour. She'd just be like, I don't know, just get that one. That looks good.
Which isn't the best way to go, because then we find something and then realize, oh, there's something better. So this is
because if we make up our mind too fast, I will keep researching even after we buy it. Even after we buy it, she hates that.
I don't like that. So this is an example of have similar energy, like we both have quick start energy, but then having complementary energies, where he has fact finding, I have the follow through, that works well, and then we both. When it comes to implementing things, sometimes we both just have to say, okay, we got to do this together, because I'll bring what I have to the table, you bring what you have, and together it will be enough.
Right.
Or we'll hire someone with more implementing energy and tell them to do it.
That's pretty much why we do everything together. Grocery shopping, even like simple things like, hey, I got to go get some milk. Why don't you come with me? It's both, and it's not because we need the other person. It's just because I really don't want to go get more milk, and she doesn't want to go get more milk, and it's like, okay, but we need to get more milk. So if we do it together, then somehow that makes it better.
Well, and because then we can multitask it. Because while we're getting the milk, we're thinking through some business decision, or we're sharing something that the kids did earlier, because we got to touch base and make sure we're on the same page as far as scheduling and parenting and whatever. So it gives us
a chance to talk.
Get in the car and go someplace, and
figure
then come back
out
with our 1 gallon of milk. We're like, woohoo!
Right.
We did it.
But having said all that, the Kolbe test is an awesome test. Again, we don't have any affiliate links or anything with them. Maybe we should. Maybe they'll endorse us or something. I doubt it. But anyway, it's an awesome test. Again, the advantage of using it, it's good to know for yourself. It's good to know for people you interact with, whether they be your spouse or a business partner or both, in our case. And it's helpful just to understand, this is why I do things the way I do things. This is why you do things the way you do things. These are the kinds of people we need that we're lacking in. These are the skill sets you have. If we wanted to get someone as a researcher and they have a low fact finding, we know it's not going to last. If they're a writer, even because often writers have to do research. If they don't have if they have very low fact finding energy, they may be great as a creative writer to come up with fun stuff. But if they actually had to research things, they're gonna poop out.
Yeah, so it's good. It gives you a greater spectrum to know what you're looking at and how you're going to move forward. So,
so check it out. We'll probably put a link in on YouTube for this if you want to go check it out. It does it does cost money. It's got about $50, but super worth it. And then you don't even just get the results, but you also get a full analysis of how you are the way you are and how that works and why that works. And in some ways it's helpful because it says people may say this about you, but it's not that you don't follow through with things because you have low follow through. But you have these other talents, you have these other gifts that are helpful, and this is where you're going to shine. So may help you figure out your career, may help you figure out what you want to do.
May help you heal from your childhood.
May help you heal from your
like,
childhood.
Why? You know, my teachers are always saying, why can't you just, you know, and you're like, oh, because I don't have that kind of energy, but I do have this kind of energy, and I'm just going to...
we do. We beat ourselves up for things like, oh, well, I procrastinate, or I do this, or I do that, and it's like, oh, okay, well,
why am I a jack of all trades and I can't master anything?
Right.
Because once I start to figure it out, I'm done. I want to move on to something else.
Yeah, and then you learn that, oh, this is just the way I am.
Yeah. So, anyway, thanks for sharing, liking, subscribing, and telling us what you think in the comments below.
Have a great day.